how can my music also serve as a medicine that can heal the people? Not just because I want to make money, because if I want to approach it with this perspective of making money, then I will put anything out there because I want to make money. But when I look at weigh the balance, then I will be guided on what I put out. So looking at all this, I've learned that the fact that you sing and maybe you are popular, people are celebrating you, doesn't make you different from other human beings. You have a role to play in the society. You have a part to contribute. As an artist, you are still a human being, but this is your own part of service to the world.
Welcome to the One Planet Music Podcast, where we explore the role of music in an ever-changing world. As a listener, you'll gain motivation, inspiration, and practical knowledge from fellow musicians and music professionals who are making an effort to perfect their craft while having meaningful impact. I'm your host, Daniel Rinaldi. Hey there, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Today we have a very special guest from Nigeria. He's a dear friend. His name is Olinganjang, and his artist name is R Mixy. And what I love about this episode is how he grew up using music in his community, like singing for the children in his neighborhood, for the youth in his neighborhood, for his family, while he was picking palm for palm oil and singing at weddings and birthdays, etc. And then going from that to then being a performer and a recording artist, but without losing sight of his community. And this is a topic that comes up very often in the interview, is this balance between trying to be a professional artist and musician, but not losing sight of your community. This is something I very much advocate for. And so it just makes me so happy to get to talk to R Mixy, who actually gets to put it into practice.
This is how we do. Calabar, rise up. They call me a temperament, they can bring them down. They call me a temperament, they can bring them down.
All the music you're going to hear on this episode is from R Mixy. It's in this genre called Afrobeat, which you've probably heard. And if you didn't know it by name, you would definitely recognize the sound. Afrobeat has been gaining popularity over the years. And I mean, it's been popular in Africa for a while. But more recently, more and more artists outside of the continent are taking notice and collaborating with artists in this genre. One recent example is Beyonce in July 2020 coming out with a song called Already, where she collaborates with Afrobeat pop star Shatta Wale, and also in collaboration with Major Lazer. A lot of it has this rhythm of like da 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 da, and it's very danceable. So even though you're here to listen to him speak, whenever the music kicks in, feel free to stand up, get your body moving, and then continue listening. But there's definitely some amazing songs for you to listen to here from him. On that note, I want to let you know that all of the music you hear on all of the episodes, if it's available on Spotify, then it's on our Spotify playlist. So go on Spotify, search for One Planet Music, and then look for the playlist, music from all the episodes. The playlist has a variety of music from all over the world, and obviously the more episodes we put out, it'll continually be more and more varied. But everything on there is very inspirational. Some of it makes you think, some of it really reaches your heart, some of it makes you dance. So there's something there for everybody. Okay, be right there. Oh man, you know how long it's taken me to record this intro? It's been like 2 hours. Because, we're in quarantine with children, and my kids just keep coming in and asking things about their homework and all these things. I thought I had like set it up perfectly so that I could have some quiet time and record, but hey, that didn't work out. I think I'll stick to doing nighttime when my kids are asleep. So without further ado, Let's get into the episode with Olinga Njang, aka R Mixy. Brother, so let's get started.
All right, bro.
So Olinga, tell me, what is your first memory of music?
Wow. My first memory of music, I can't recall the year, but then I was still in primary school. So it's over 30 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, or so, where we had a religious burial. The friend was to be buried by the Baha'is, because I'm also a member of the Baha'i faith. So, and then we had a key drummer that used to play when we have such event. And on that day, he fell ill. He couldn't come. And I've been longing for opportunity to sit on his drums to also play. And he was not there. And then the burial also had to be organized. And we need music because we are in a community where music is a norm. People dance to it, sing to it. So I stepped up and I said, I'm going to do it. And then that was the day I played and everybody danced. I know because I play and sing at the same time.
So how old were you?
Over 30 years ago, this experience I'm sharing with you because I was very young then.
Got it. So you were like maybe like 15.
Yeah, or less.
Uh-huh.
So I had that opportunity to play, and that day I felt so fulfilled. Because even before then, I used to play in the cultural settings in the village, and people would dance, I would sing and play as a young kid, But I've been looking for opportunity to play at our religious gathering as a member. But because we had big men then, did not see, that the youth or the children, we have such opportunity in us or strength to also showcase what God has given to us. They never gave us that chance. But that day so happened. And since that day, they discovered that this young boy here can actually do this. And even when he came back from his treatment, he never bothered about coming to that drum. He was satisfied with what I was doing. So he just encouraged, and then that was an opportunity too for him to show me some ways on how to play those our local drums. So, and that really made me to love drumming, So that was long ago. Then I also had opportunity again after my secondary school in 1992. A cultural troupe came, 9 culture troupe. They wanted to go somewhere to use music to talk about peace, love, and progress, how to live together in unity. So they were looking for drummers. So they came to our village.
And just to be clear, when you say drummers, you mean like djembe, konunus,
Djembe,
like,
and we have what we call where I come from, the folk drums, which is like the djembe is the popular drum in French West Africa and part of Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
But here, this side of Nigeria, where I come from, we have a certain drum that you play. It's an individual plays like 2 or 3 of it, sitting on it and playing,
On the same drum.
Yeah, on the same drum. Yes, it's a traditional kind of drum, but you can use it to play anything you want to play.
What is it called?
Personally, I call it Samba drums. Generally, they call it drums, but it's linked to a tribe, the people in Nigeria.
Huh.
But I attach a name to it, Samba, because Samba means it makes people to dance and enjoy themselves. So I even made for myself, which I dropped somewhere in the central part of Nigeria, in my friend's studio. So I made those drums for myself. I enjoy playing them. Right now, I don't have them with me in the house. So that 1992, they came because it was a cultural troupe, they needed a good drummer who can play and sing. And everybody in the village just directed them to come to our house and said, Olinga can do this. And then when they took me to the city where the drums were, the moment I saw the drum, my spirit just came up and I jumped on it and I started playing and singing, and that was it. So they took me around some part of the state. We even went for radio interview. That's 1992. I'm talking here. And then 1995, there was a troop formed by the Universalists of Justice. This is a supreme body in charge of the Baha'i faith in the world. That troop was called Light of Unity Troop to teach people about unity, community building through arts and culture. So because of the experience this group had with me, my name was recommended to be part of that team. And right away, we were called. And we were taken to Côte d'Ivoire, still in West Africa, French. And we were there for like 6 weeks to train, practice, to prepare to tour around English-speaking West African countries. And that took us for almost 8 months. That 1995 to 96 really ascertained the fact that music was really in me, because I became one of the lead vocalists and the chief drummers of the troupe throughout the period. So that was a confirmation. Yes. So since then to date, I've been doing it at different levels.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now I want to get back to that a little bit later, but so I want to have clear. I mean, you started telling me about maybe when you were in your teens, when you were a teenager, and you started drumming at this funeral.
Yes.
And you, just because this one drummer wasn't there, and that was maybe one of your first experiences.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, I mean, music you were probably hearing when you were still in the womb of your mother, right? Like,
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. Like, what do you remember as like a little baby, a little child? I mean,
baby.
Obviously, I don't know how much you can remember as a baby, but tell me.
Our late father loved playing and carrying children, whether his own or not. So he believed that every child is his. So any child that comes around him, he always tried to make them happy. And he does that through singing. So even my mom used to tell us that even when some days when she's feeling stressed with pregnancies, dad will come around and sing for her to get relief, and even singing also for the unborn baby. I would say he had really helped to inspire in that aspect, because we were born to a father who loved singing. So as we were growing up, it was natural, But then in the family, we all love singing, but I take it more professional than every other person, But from that childhood, we've been around where music has been a source of inspiration and happiness in the family. It becomes natural that, one of us should really get that. And then the whole thing descends on my head in the whole family. So, and my dad too was a choir master as a young person. He was a choir master. So he loved singing also. So I think maybe one way or the other, I got connected through that.
It was in your blood.
Yeah.
Party, me light up the place. See them a turn up. Anytime me go to party, me light up the place. See them a turn up. See them coming into the side by side.
Olinga, it's interesting. Going back to the funeral that you mentioned. I have a dear friend who passed away several years ago, and at his funeral there was a lot of drumming because he was a musician. I mean, he was Colombian, but had distant African roots. And he, that his family completely understood what would make him happy and what would make his soul happy. And it was drumming during his funeral. Now, this is a custom that you don't see everywhere, but I was definitely aware of it being very much an African tradition, and potentially some other communities in other areas of the world. What can you tell me a little bit about, let's say, this utilitarian aspect of music in African tradition, or specifically Nigerian or your tribe? Like,
Yeah.
How is it used? Not just for like entertainment, or not just to like turn on the radio and have in background, but like where you're actually using music with a very specific purpose.
Yeah. Like my own culture, the folk culture, they use it for several purposes. It could be used for announcement. It could be used to educate the people on a certain thing that's happening in the community or the world at large. And it could also be used to summon people to a gathering. And then it's also a symbol of uniting the people, because there's some situation that occurs in the village, and one of the ways to elevate the minds of the people is to bring cultural dances and displays, to re-energize the people, to get them off from that kind of low mind that may have occurred due to whatever may have also happened in the community. So music is a whole lot. Even in farming, we use it in agriculture.
Right.
It gives energy for people to work, and it's still being used even when because also my community, they produce what we call palm oil. While doing that, a lot of music there are certain kind of music or songs that people will sing that will help the job. You can do a whole lot of work without feeling it because of music. So it's not just to entertain, but it helps to bring people together, re-energize, and elevate our consciousness. So it goes beyond entertainment. It's used for several, even for children. And why they play it a lot during funerals is also to help the bereaved families, to get off the pain of losing a dear one, So it has a whole lot to give in our culture, but we have certain times where we use it for different kind of festivals, So, and I'm so versed in that in my own culture. I love it so much, and that's why if you see, sometimes I tag myself as a tembre. When I'm making some posts on social media handles, a tembre means someone who loves to make other people happy through music.
Is that like a term used for somebody specific who like uses music to make others happy? Is that how I understand it?
Yes. Somebody who can use his own
tembre.
A tembre. Yes. ETMBRE. A tembre. Yes. Somebody who a tembre means a happy person, a joyful person. So a tembre, that's a person that brings joy and makes other people happy through his craft. You don't do that ordinarily. There should be something spectacular about you that could help to make people, to raise people to that level of consciousness. So
that's beautiful.
Yes, and whenever I'm in my village, like December that's the name a lot of people calls me, a tembre, because they know that as I'm around, everywhere will be, light up. So that's yeah. So it's because I've engaged in a lot of music activities in my own local government before I move off to the city. So I even formed a group within my village to use for youth, called Peace Pillars Gyration Group and all that several years back.
What's it called? Peace Pillars?
Peace Pillars Gyration Group.
Gyration Group?
Gyration, yes. Gyration means music that brings out energy in people. So you gyrate, it makes them vibrate to a certain. So yeah, so I could stand at one point to sing for 6 hours non-stop, and then others will be playing the drums. Or sometimes I'm playing the drums at the same time I am singing. So it's with those drums I explained to you earlier. If I handle it, you have to beg me to stop. Yeah, true.
Give me la la love, give me honey, honey love. Give me la la love, give me la la love. Now be conny, conny love. Me go love, me go love, me go love you, baby. I no go tire ya. Hello, where I get for you, baby. I say na fire, yeah, yeah. Me go love, me go love, me go love you, baby. I no go tire, yeah.
Olinga. I mean, I've been calling you Olinga just because, you know, as a friend,
No, it's okay.
that's the name I know you
It's
as.
okay.
But
It's
you
okay.
have. But let's talk about your creative name, your artist name, R Mixy.
Yeah.
What can
R
you tell me
Mixy,
about
yeah.
R Mixy? Olinga, let's talk about R Mixy. Who is that?
Yeah, bro. Thank you very much. This is the first time I've been asked directly about R Mixy. You know, R comes from reggae and raga because I got inspired through reggae and raga kind of music, energetic kind of music. And by then, Afrobeat and Afro pop was not very popular. It was reggae and raga that was reigning. And I got inspired with that. So I love energetic and music that make people dance. So then Mixy now is a combination because I do a lot of things when it comes to music. I do a lot of things with my life. And also my father biologically is from Cameroon, while my mom is from Nigeria. Though we were all born in Nigeria. We grew up in Nigeria. My father naturalized in Nigeria and all that. So Mixy also comes from that connection, Nigeria and Cameroon.
Like the mix of cultures.
Roots, yes, and origin. And
So
then
R standing for like raga mixing.
Raga,
like
yes, raga. That's in fact initially people used to call me Ragaman Mixy. So I just cut it to R Mixy because I was really a kind of raga artist, you know. So so that is how that name came about.
So tell me, I mean, so far we've talked about how, you know, music has influenced you since childhood, and it's just part of your life, whether there's a birthday, whether there's a funeral, a wedding, whether you're farming, whatever it is, there's music involved. But when did you decide to take it like, hey, I want to be an artist? Is there a difference between the two? Is there a difference between Olinga, you know, with his community and with his youth and children from the neighborhood singing songs? Is there a difference between that Olinga and R Mixy on the microphone recording with a producer?
It is just one thing because I don't believe in fragmentation. Whether I'm with children, I'm in the studio, is the same spirit I use when it has to do with music. And then I actually started writing, and when I was far back, when I was in secondary school, even before, around 1993 was when I started actually writing my own songs. You know, like one of my popular religious track, my Baha'i song, Youth Can Move the World, was written around 1994. And then it was just the chorus. There was no verse attached to it, for instance. But it was in 1998 that I actually now finished up the writing of that song and recorded it in the studio.
Youth can move the world, youth can move the world.
Youth can move the world when in action.
Youth can move the world, youth can move the world.
Youth can move the world when in action.
Youth can move the world, youth can move the world.
Youth can move the world when in action.
Remember the Barbie was a young man. He gave all his life to promote this cause. Remember Anisi was a young boy. He gave all his life to promote this cause.
From that day, I discovered that I can actually take this up beyond just my community entertainment and all that. I can take it to the world. And when I released that album, I saw the reaction to it, even though it was so raw, the very limited resources with little materials put together. And we got that, and people appreciated it. That gave me a lot of encouragement. Since that 1998, I have been doing it step by step. And gradually, people are accepting. They are coming in to support and working with me beyond Nigeria. So even you meeting me up today to talk to me through this medium shows that I have done something for you to have recognized, to put me on your platform. So I'm so grateful to God and also to your platform as well. One Planet Music.
No, I'm the one that feels honored and blessed to have you on this episode. Really, you know, because particularly one of the goals of this podcast is to have a wide perspective of music, and not just from one area of the world, not just from one corner, but from all over. Right. So when I thought of my friend Olinga, I have to call him up. So
thanks so much.
Oh yeah, of course. So tell me a little bit about that journey, R Mixy. Like, you started with this one song, "Youth Can Move the World," back in '98, right? And
yes,
and you said there's been a great evolution in your music since then. What kinds of things have you learned along the way that have really shaped you as an artist?
Yeah. One thing I've seen, one key thing is that you don't do music because you want to make money. You do music because you love doing music and you're passionate about it. And also think of your music as a job, and think of your music as a producer of a manufacturer of products that is to be consumed by people. And then when you look at it in that way, because sometimes we say people are selling fake drugs, so it means we can also sell music that stand like fake drugs to people if you don't analyze your music.
You're saying fake drugs?
Fake drugs. Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is that I look at music like somebody who is also producing, let's say, drugs for the society. What I mean, drugs is medications. You hear like tablets. Yeah, you understand what I mean? Not aside when you mentioned,
medicine.
It's general medicine. So when you produce medicine, what that means is that you produce medicine that will be useful to the society, not what will harm the people. So also is music. So I look at it and I've been reflecting and say, how can my music also serve as a medicine that can heal the people? Not just because I want to make money, because if I want to approach it with this perspective of making money, then I will put anything out there because I want to make money. But when I look at weigh the balance, then I will be guided on what I put out. So looking at all this, I've learned that the fact that you sing and maybe you are popular, people are celebrating you, doesn't make you different from other human beings. You have a role to play in the society. You have a part to contribute. So I've learned that as an artist, you are still a human being, but this is your own part of service to the world. So you have to take it that way. That is what you are giving. And if you give it negatively, then that is what you would have contributed.
We are world citizens, yeah. We are world citizens, yeah. We are world citizens, yeah. We're gonna live as one for life. We are world citizens, yeah. We are world citizens, yeah. We are world citizens, yeah. We're gonna live as one for life.
Anywhere me go, they must show me love. A beautiful world when we show love. Anywhere me go, they must show me love.
So I have also learned that, I mean, you really got to love what you are doing, and don't be discouraged by what people will say from the onset of your journey, because they won't accept you when you start. Even within your family, some people will say, hey, music, go and do what they smoke, they drink, they do a whole lot of things, they womanize. So because of that, a lot of people will tend to discourage you. But since you love what you are doing and you keep doing it, and when people also see that really this guy is serious, he loves what he's doing, gradually you start gaining and getting the support from the people whom initially maybe did not want to support or accept you. So that is exactly what I have learned. And then also how to work with other people. At every turn, you should be ready to learn and listen to others. Don't feel that you know. So that has also contributed immensely. So these are some of the things that have really kept me going, and I'm still open to learn more and more because there is no limit to how we can learn.
Agreed. No, and that's one of my journeys in learning about music as well. How to strike that balance of how to share a message, how to be true and sincere with your heart, as an artist, in my case as a producer. Yet, how do you make a living? right? And so
Yes,
like
yes.
for you, like what are some practical things you've learned and with your reality in Abuja in Nigeria, like how can you make a living with music? What is it like? Tell me a little bit.
When I started doing it, really there was no money, but then I was serving as a coordinator, a resource person for junior E program. And I was
like working with adolescents and teenagers.
Yes, to teenagers and working with teenagers across Nigeria, and to some point I was asked to also help English-speaking West African countries. So,
oh wow.
Yes, then the little allowance that I was given, I was saving it to produce and promote my music. I was not really having much coming in through music, but gradually as I was doing it, but I knew that, yes, I also have to earn a living from my art.
Right. Apart
from giving it for people to enjoy and all that, I have to earn a living. So I was always thinking about how can this music also help? So I try to learn from people, interact with people, upgrade, and also meet some people when I produce some records to see how they can support in promoting. And then it got to a point, I started having some little shows. And those little shows, a little thing will come from
like
there.
Like you were performing.
Perform, and then you'll be paid, for the performances and all that. So that has been, and then with the support of my family, because I did not want to give up my music, I even dabbled into agriculture just to raise money to continue with my music and all that. And I used to even do some physical jobs, just to support my music, like working in the farms for people. And
were you working in palm oil as well?
Palm oil, yes. That was one of my area of passion. Palm oil production, and then cassava, where we produce gari, popular food in Nigeria called gari.
I love cassava.
So I used to even get some lands to farm and sell and all that, work for people, raise money and all that. So, and then when I got married to now, my wife's job was better off. So we were supporting ourselves with that, with a little I was also making from my coordinatorship of working with teenagers and all that, till the music. At this stage, I also made this online business of a company in US buying African songs. So I happened to represent them here in Nigeria to get some songs for them to buy and also sell mine. So that has really taken us now to another level that right now at least we are earning from
That's
our
interesting.
craft.
And so who's buying those songs, and like for what? Is it like for film and TV?
There's a particular company you saw on my display picture on my WhatsApp. You see Afro Sound Machine. So Afro Sound Machine is the agent of the company who collects songs. We give the songs to Afro Sound in US. Now they have the clients that they are now giving the songs who buy, and then we are paid directly. Every artist is paid directly. The money doesn't come through anybody. So that has really helped to strengthen and has given me a lot more connection with producers in Nigeria. Now some are even sending me free instrumentals so I can voice on and all that. So he has opened doors for so many other things. And we are growing, and then they are also building up, and a member of this team has even come closer to start promoting my own music as well. So that has really helped. So God has a way. Just keep doing what you're doing, and there will be a turning point. So I can call this point a turning point for me, because I've never had it like this since I started this journey. Though I've been once in a while, we've been having some pays from performances and all that, but this is a little bit more consistent, and it has really helped.
Every day I dey go, city, where everything I dey do, city, where everywhere I dey go, city, where everybody they know, city, where sound. I dey use my talent to live my life, yeah. Anyhow you be, I know they complain, no, nah. I wake up in the morning, Oluwa they bless. I dey sing my song, Oluwa they bless. Anything where I do, Oluwa there bless. Yeah, yeah, yeah. City where I wake up in the morning, Oluwa there bless. I then sing my song, Oluwa there bless. So anything where I do, Oluwa there bless. Yeah, yeah, yeah. City where
You know, it's interesting if we look back, you know, maybe decades ago, or maybe even just one decade ago, where the internet wasn't as strong and social media networks weren't as strong. Maybe the music scenes were more separated, but now we're seeing like how it really doesn't matter what corner of the world you're in. There's a way to get your music out. And you look at, for example, Afrobeat, and how this genre has just exploded, and you're seeing it everywhere, or you're hearing influences of it everywhere. How, you know, from your perspective, how does it feel kind of being in that part of the world and seeing one of your genres, you know, Afrobeats, being represented internationally?
It's really amazing for us, because I always tell my people around me that if you look at where I'm coming from, interior village, but look at me now talking with you,
right? Because
of technology. So it has really helped to showcase what we have. And in fact, the world, you haven't seen anything yet. A lot more to come, generation after generation, as far as Africa is concerned, because we have raw talent, raw forms of music that you've not yet heard. So with this technology, a lot of people have really been blessed, because they have also seized the opportunity to showcase what they have. It has helped the world to see that really we have a lot to offer, to contribute to the global culture through music and entertainment. So it's really been helpful. Like what I'm just sharing with you, how would I have gotten the connection with this company to be selling my songs? They are based in the United States. I am here in Nigeria. From my own, even when I was in my village in December, we were still doing the business, interior bush, but I was still connected because there is internet. So business was still going on. So you can work from anywhere. Like I've been working with producers, for instance, even within Nigeria, without seeing them, we are working, getting songs arranged without meeting ourselves. All this is as a result of technology. And I believe that is God's own intervention to help the world to really unite and then understand ourselves and know that in every culture and tribe, there is beauty and there's unity and diversity that we can learn from each other and tap from each other's strengths. So technology has really been of immense help for all of us. For me in particular, this period of pandemic, financially, we were not too down, you know, and we also try to help other people from the little we met through this, our online music activities. So it's really very good and very timely. And I know more are yet to come as far as technology too is concerned. And as far as African music too is concerned, the world is yet to see more things, you know. Yes.
You know, one thing of it I would love to ask you is, I've been reflecting a lot lately on the origin of what one would call like truly American music. And if you look at what is American music, like what you can call American music, a lot of it is really rooted in the African influence, the African American experience.
Yes.
You know, you see how Negro spirituals and turn into blues, and then jazz and bluegrass, and you know, you have gospel and you know, you have funk and R&B and rock
and all that.
You know, you have soul, you have hip hop.
So
and so I would be curious to hear, you know, from what I could hear is also like a lot of African countries are listening to American music. How much influence do you think there is, let's say, whether in your music personally or in general from other artists, from American music?
Yeah, in early 2000, we were still influenced by Western music so much. We listened a lot to it. We were hyping to it and really loving it. And if you attend events and they play Nigerian music, then people would tend to wait for the Western music. But with the emergence of Afrobeat and in mid 2000, I mean, it has been a different thing right now. Sometimes you listen to radio stations in Nigeria. By the time when they play Western music, people say, please change it, change it. We want to feel the vibe. We want to enjoy Nigerian African music and all that.
Right.
But though we still have people who listen and enjoy it, but it doesn't move crowd anymore. And that's why you see the Western guys are collaborating with a lot of African artists, a whole lot now because of the energy in the African music. But before this emergence of Afrobeat, we were so in love with Western music, the R&Bs, the hip hop, the Puff Daddy stuff, Tupac Shakur, and all those guys, all those hip hop artists. Then we were enjoying their flows and all that. But then, really, we were not feeling our own music.
The champion, when street show you love, give me that. When street show you love, give me that. When street show you love, give me that. You be a winner, man. The champion. Street brother, man, you got to search yourself. Come shoulder, then go for your hands. So me say in the street, nobody is a stranger. One love, them the head. Energy full in the street, oh. Talent yapa in the street, oh. Street got the fire, no be lie, oh. One love, then we support the street, oh. Energy full in the street.
And maybe when the Western people started appreciating our music, it now made us here now to start recognizing what our people were doing, because they were instead being recognized outside Africa than we recognize them. So that recognition outside helped us to start appreciating what we have.
It was like a validation of sorts.
Yes, validation of what we have. We never saw it here. Truly, if you ask anybody, we were not, no, say, this is not good. Let's wait for Tupac. Let's wait for Big Daddy and all that. So, but now, if they happen to collaborate with our artists, it's even sweeter. Like now you see Chris Brown and all those guys sometimes working with some of our artists here and adding value too, because I also believe in collaboration and the diversity. As music is diversity. It can't be just, it can't be one way. The diversity is really very good as far as music is concerned. That's what makes music beautiful. You know, it's the diversity. We still listen, but not as it used to be, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see that sort of cyclical influence, because, as I mentioned, like if you look at the roots of American music, its root is African influence, right? And so then you see how American music has, at least it's sort of idolized in maybe in Africa, in certain areas, maybe more than others. But now it's kind of coming back, like you said. It's like Nigerians are standing up to use their own voice, or like trying to find what is their own voice, and how can they share it with the world, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think? How do I phrase this question? Like, why do you think now? Why do you think, like, just now, countries like Nigeria are maybe feeling that sense of validation with their music and their voice, their cultural, their musical voice? Why not before?
I think the technology too has played a great role in helping us to have this validation, because the technology has helped us to see the acceptance of our music outside the shores of Africa. And with that, we in Africa, Nigeria in particular, start appreciating and supporting our own. Then people they were not ready to even invest in our own artists. They were organizing shows and bringing artists from the West to come and perform, and all of us will fill up the hall to watch them display. But with technology and media, it has helped us to see the influence of our own music, and in so doing, we value now what we have. And now, initially, parents were not even allowing their children to say they want to go and do music. Some will disown you. So many parents disown their children because they wanted to do music.
Sure.
But now they are the ones begging people to come and train their children, taking them to music schools and music teachers to come to home for tutorial, for practice and all that. So
Beautiful.
it wasn't like that before because they have seen the acceptance and to see that this is actually a value adding process, even though we are losing sight of the whole concept of music in the area of what it should really represent. But then parents look at it at the lucrative aspect and they really push their children into it. Now they pay for them to record, pay for their videos, pay for them to go for training in music and all that. It wasn't like that. So media, technology, and the acceptance of our music outside the shores of Africa has helped our people to recognize that, yeah, this is a force to reckon with. You know, so
I agree. Watch out for R Mixy.
yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
The nature of man, me know is so novel. It is a reality so undoubtable. You feel your arms sitting down so comfortable when the wall is going up and down so unstable. The solution to this surely attainable. Looking at yourself, I know you are capable to make this world a better place so appreciable. When you look around the world, my brother, tell me what you see. Something missing. When you look around the world, my sister, tell me what you see. Something missing. Original. Something missing in the world. Something missing in the world.
You know, one concept that I love, that a fellow friend and a mentor, a music mentor, Istvan Deli.
Yeah.
He talks about 3 levels that a musician can participate in. And the highest being the professional level, the middle one being like amateur or hobbyist, and the first one being community or communal. And I feel like, you know, always the sense that I've gotten from you is that you're seeking this balance between, just like you said, like not this dichotomy. Like between, you know, the artist, like R Mixy, like trying to seek a professional level experience, you know, trying to get an income as an artist, trying to, you know, you have a particular image or influence in doing shows, but at the same time, you haven't lost track of the essence of where you learn music at the community level, and you're performing with children. You're using songs while picking palm oil. I mean, maybe you're not doing that work anymore, but still the essence of using music in everyday life. Why do you think that's important to you? Because I feel like a lot of artists, when they set their eyes on the professional level and on making an income or having a music career, they lose track of their community, or they forget about their community a lot of times. Not everyone, obviously. But what has, like, you know, tell me more about that. Why is that so rooted in you? What has helped you stay grounded?
Okay. Yeah, I believe that man is organic with his environment, and you cannot segregate the human heart also from his environment. Every profession, every craft should add value to the society. No matter how professional you may be in your path of craft, it shouldn't remove the humanity in you. And the moment we only look at the craft, we don't think of the humanity in us. That is where we only look at it at the level of professional and not thinking about the community. Because,
and only thinking about ourselves and our own personal gain.
Yourself, yes, self. And personally, too, I believe that life is 2 sides, spiritual and material. And we cannot put one aside and pursue the other. We have to work on the 2. So being a musician should not undermine that nobility in me, that I should work on my spiritual development as well as my material profession, because I have to also make a living, but there should be a balance. So the moment that humanity is removed, then there is imbalance in our pursuit of life. Because life, I believe that physical life will end, we will continue. And what will I take back to my creator if I don't link up with my community? So no profession should become a barrier between me and my people. And once it's like that, then it's better not to engage in such a profession, you know, because how can I be happy and I can't link up with my community? Yes, people feel that, because it's music, So you have to be at that level. But I don't look at it in that way. Even from my upbringing, I've been working with the community, even when I was schooling in the city. But whenever I'm back home during holidays, I will be with my people and do whatever they were doing in developing the community. I never said because I'm coming from a city, because some people come from the city and they want to show off to the villagers who are in the rural setting. So I never allowed that, and that has been part of me. And whatever you do, or whatever you've been doing when you are growing up, it will perpetuate into the future. So, and I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that connection between me and the community, because if I don't work for the betterment of my community through the little, through the talents or the ideas that God has given to me, then it wouldn't be of any value. Because I believe that music, we came and met it in the world given to us by God. And anything from God means it has to be used for our own development as well as that of our society. So the moment you lose sight of that, then you are off. Success is not about making the money and becoming popular, but how useful are we to our community? So that is how I go with my own project and whatever I do. And I feel more satisfied when I see that my people at the community, people are happy whenever I'm around with them and they wouldn't want me to go. That gives me more joy than the millions that one will be pursuing, truly. Because in the end, I will not go with the million when I'm leaving this world, but I will go with that joy of being with my people and they are happy with me. So we have to make a living, but we don't also have to weigh down our community interaction and making our people happy by being with them too. You know.
That's why they call you Etembre.
Etembre, yeah. So anytime you're around, you light up. They feel your presence, and you also, I mean, at that level, bro, you can influence the people positively.
Yeah.
With your exposure, your connection, your understanding of things, you can, whatever you share, your people will listen to you. You guide and you can contribute to the growth of your community and the people around you. So there should be that link.
Canaan City, where I come from, more with the take I'm JJ. Shine your eyes on more Calabar, because this is Lagos. So I travel around many cities, gone. No place like Lagos. Don't doubt me when I tell you, gone. No place like Lagos. A Lagos, a Lagos. No place like Lagos. A Lagos, a Lagos. It can only be Lagos.
What is your vision for what's to come? What is something you're hopeful about? What are you excited about that's coming in the near future for you and for your community?
For music, yeah, I've been praying that people should start thinking about music as a tool to elevate the consciousness of the people as well as making money. And that is what I'm praying for. But I can see within this period of COVID-19, I've seen that even people change the kind of songs. Some people change the kind of songs they were singing to sing songs that will elevate the minds of the people in the community and at the grassroots. So that helped people to realize that, wow, so really our soul needs something better than what we've been doing. So I can see that coming, and that's my prayer, and that is what I am also pushing. You know, we make money, we entertain. We do entertaining music, but we have to elevate, because a lot of people have been led astray, young people, because of we, the musicians. Because we are the idols. Anything we do, people emulate. If we give it right, they will take it right. And if we give it the other way, that's how they will go, from what I've seen around me. So I am praying that our artists will start having this reorientation to start putting in contents that will elevate, and make money from it. Yes. So that is just what I'm praying for. And I'm also working for it. It's not an easy mission, but it is interesting to see that gradually, even around you, people who work with you, your producers, your collaborators, they are beginning to discover that there are certain contents you don't like to work with. So that alone for me is showing that the impact is already being felt with the immediate guys I'm working with. They know So I'm
they
happy
know
with
they
that.
know what you want to focus on, and they know what you don't want to focus on.
Yes, they know. The moment I step into the studio, they know what I'm coming for.
And
So
that
even
says a
with
lot
some-
about the power of your individual vision and your perspective,
Yes.
and not conforming to what everybody else wants you to do.
Yes, yes. And that has made me too, bro, not to be signed to. There was a label that approached me, not a popular label per se, but they wanted to invest in me. But when I saw the direction that they were going, there was money that would have helped me to some level materially, but I wouldn't have been happy with my life or myself up to date. So I lovingly told them, well, I love your seeing me as somebody can do business with, but this is also my own way of doing things. If you accept it this way, and we are making money, but we are also giving content that is of value, then we can work. When I saw that they were not so happy with that, I told them, well, because of that, I wouldn't be able to work. They were shocked because they had the money, but I was not moved by it, So that is just it. Yeah. So it's challenging. If you are not very firm, you can easily give up and go and collect the money and do whatever they ask you to do. So it's a very challenging situation as far as independent artists is concerned these days. And when they approach you for signing, that's why I always tell some young guys who want to also do positive, say, check what you are being signed for or where you are being signed on. Try to understand. Don't jump because they have placed money in it. What are you there to do? So it's a lot of people have gone through that test and some don't come out of it. Yeah.
Olinga, R Mixy,
yeah,
Etembre.
Yeah, bro. Oh man, you kill it. Respect.
It's been such a pleasure talking to you, brother. Tell me, where can people contact you if they want to collaborate with you or listen to your music? What would be the best way to reach you?
I have my Facebook page, R Mixy. You can reach me. You can send me a message there, as well as Instagram account. So all this together are ways that people can reach me.
Are you there with your baby?
Sorry, just came in.
No. Have your baby participate. The baby wants to say something.
They have picked him. Sorry. He has been looking for me, so he discovered that I was hiding somewhere. So he was happy to. So
how old is the baby?
Is a year and 2 months. We have 3 boys, 7 years, 4 years, and then 1 year, 2 months.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
What are your Instagram? You said Instagram and Twitter. What are your handles?
All R Mixy.
R Mixy all together.
R Mixy for Instagram. For Twitter is R Mixy1.
Another R Mixy.
Figure 1, yes. Figure 1, yes.
Yeah. Brother, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for the opportunity, and I pray that we should have more of this. This has really elevated my joy and also give me more encouragement to know, wow, I'm doing something that One Planet Music could recognize and give me a call to interact with me. I'm so happy, because it has helped me to say some of the things that are inside of me, so that those that will find it beneficial could also benefit from it.
That's the idea.
Yes, bro.
Much love, brother.
Yeah. Thank you so much. One love.
We don't want any other number. R Mixy, give us your number. We don't want any other number.
I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you got some nuggets that you can apply in your own music creation or in your own music world. So if you liked it, please take a screenshot on your phone and share it on Facebook, on Instagram, or wherever else, with family and friends, or send them a text message or a WhatsApp telling them about the episode. Don't forget to tag One Planet Music. On Instagram, we're oneplanetmusic.fm, and everywhere else, we're One Planet Music. Additionally, please go to Apple Podcasts and give us a rating and a review. It really helps to put this podcast in front of other people who might be interested in listening. I have some good news to share with you. One Planet Music has an intern, and her name is Tahira Vejdani. She's based out of Toronto, and she helped edit this episode. This was her first episode that she got to work on for One Planet Music, and she did an amazing job. So give her a shout out. She's on Instagram as Tahira Vejdani. I'll tag her in the show notes, and definitely go show her some love. Okay, be right there. That's my son saying he's done on the potty and he needs some help. So let me get this finished so I can go help him. Go give her a shout out. She did an awesome job. And I look forward to seeing what other great work she'll do for this podcast. I send you a lot of love. I send you a big hug, a big high five, a big COVID handshake, whatever that may look like, with the elbow or the shoulder or the foot or the knee or the hips. I can't think of any other handshake alternative at the moment. Take care.